So 422 on the 30th, which now we're back at Saturday again. I can't even believe this morning how fast time's going. Like, everything is going so fast, I can't even fucking believe it. It's like every time I go, I don't know, last time was fucking rough, dude. God damn, it was rough. And, like the first time Stella woke up, it was 9 in the evening, 9 o'clock at night. It's like when a lot of people are going to bed. But I went to bed at 7 because I had been up since 3. And then, or what time did I get up yesterday? I don't even fucking know. I'd have to go back and look at that video. I think it was, I don't know. Fuck if I know. Between 1:30 and 3:30, I would guess. But it could have been 4:30. Sometimes, I don't know. Doesn't fucking matter. But what was I going to say? Oh, but last night, so I went to bed at 7. So I went and, it was like, fuck, it was a lot to go run errands. And then I got my car inspected and stuff. So when I got my car inspected, which was supposed to be this free inspection that cost $40, but whatever, I still found out what's up with my car. So everything was fine for a road trip, all the belts and fluids and all that stuff. They didn't even say to change the oil, which I was like, wow. But, of course, it needs some kind of things on the front, like, what did he call them? Some kind of, I don't know, ball joints or something that is split open and they're leaking grease. But he said that just happens from wear and tear. But then they'll start getting dirt in them and they'll start making noise. And so I need to get those changed. But I got to go to a foreign car place because they don't do it there. And that's going to cost even more. And he didn't even know how much it's going to cost. But then, but they need to do the rear brakes because they're low. And they have this little brake sheet that shows you, and it's like there's this much left, or this much left. And mine was on there, there's only this much left. And now it's going to be over $500. And then they said my left light bulb was out. And so I said, well, would that be a big deal to change that right now? But I don't really drive a lot at night, but that's going to make a difference over Tuesday. So I am going to go before it gets dark, and it gets dark now at 8 o'clock. So Tuesday I'll try and do a video beforehand, and that will be that one, because then it's going to be like, I'm going to go over to my daughter's sleep. We're going to get up at 4 in the morning. We got to leave and go to the airport. And then fly, get there. She wants to rent a car now. And so do all that stuff. Then get to my brother's, and it's going to be like really busy. So I know I won't be able to record until Thursday morning. Or, you know, in the middle of the night, Wednesday night. Whenever I wake up. But so that would be in there. I won't have a video. But the but on the car thing. So he said about this light bulb. And when I'm looking down, because they send you this whole thing telling you everything about your car. And it said $80 on this one thing. And I thought, oh, $80 for brakes? That's not bad. And no, it was $80 for the light bulb. $80 for them to put a light bulb inside of the thing. I was like, well, damn. But I said, well, can you do that? And he's like, well, he doesn't have time because it's not just simple. You have to go around behind it. I don't even know. You have to go in the open motor, go behind it, reach around, and put it in that way or something. And I was like, well, I don't really drive at night anyway, so on my road trip, I'm not going to be driving at night. I'm going to be driving early in the morning at the coolest time of the day. And so so I was like, okay, so the light bulb's not emergency or anything, but the brake thing. So I swear to God, it used to be like $80 to get your brake fixed. Now it's $562 for them to put on rear brakes. That's just rear brakes. $562. And but I'd have to have an appointment. You know, they weren't doing that right then. And they said, I can make an appointment. I said, well, I'm going to be gone for a few weeks, so I won't be able to do that. And I'll have to make an appointment when I get back. But in the meantime, my mom's like trying to go through everything just so I could get them cheaper or whatever. And I was like, I wonder if I could just get the book and figure out how to do them. I don't think brakes are that hard to do. And, but I think I'm going to call the place where I got my tires. She has a bunch of places, you know, call this place, call that place. I'm going to call some places and see if I can get them cheaper. But because I've also, if I'm going to be moving here in a minute, and I've got to get a truck again, gas, all that stuff. At least I don't have to get all the money that they make people pay to, because, well, we'll see. I'm not going to say anything about any of the stuff until it's like more set, because right now it's just like a whisper in the wind. So we'll see what happens. But if it goes in that direction, I wouldn't need like first and last, move in and all that stuff. So, but I would need a truck, gas, and then it's in my mind. It starts being, well, how do I get my stuff there? Then how do I get my car there? Well, it's like, and I have to keep going. Okay, it works out. There's nothing everything goes the way it's supposed to go. There's nothing I need to sit here and fret about and freak out and like, oh, how will I do this? How will I do that? It will work the way it's supposed to work. Because I was even thinking, well, I could take a couple of loads down, like get a smaller truck. Because I don't even know, that's what I'm going to see too, what the drive is going to be. Because it can be some intense mountain stuff. And then I want my brakes to be working. But I would be driving a truck when I'm going and doing this. But I would take a load, then come back, which will be a killer on the gas, and then drop that truck off, and then wait another week or two, and then take another load and bring it back. But that way I could take smaller trucks, because driving one of those big trucks just seems like, oh, fuck, man, I don't know about that. And so anyways, but things work out the way they're supposed to work out. And we don't have to sit and fret about it and try and overthink it and try and control it, because that would be my tendency. And so I'm trying to learn to not get stuck in those loops of control and try and just sit back and relax and go with the flow and know that what happened or what is meant for me comes to me. I don't have to try and force it. It will just happen naturally. And that's just the way this ride is. It's just the way life works. But we just spend so much time trying to control it, so much time trying to force it and make it be what we want it to be, that we don't get into the flow, so we don't stay in the groove, and we just are constantly in a state of dissatisfaction and what is that? Like when you're trying to control something, it's not working the way you want. It's like a panicky frustration. And I lived a lot of years that way. And so I've learned at this point is just like, no, just relax. Just relax. It'll be fine. So there's a ginormous spider just hanging over there, which the other day, I think it was the one that was running across the floor and I saw him. So I tried to catch him and scoop him up and take him outside, and he got away. And so now I think he's moseyed up, and now he's hanging from the ceiling, which is so trippy looking because it looks like there's a gap between the ceiling and him. He's just hanging, chilling upside down, watching me, just sitting there watching me. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, he's just interested watching me. One day I had that one that just sat there and kept watching me. Once he moved to the ceiling, I was like, hell no, what are you going to fall down on me? But this one, he seems to just be staying there, and I think he's already like, man, she's already chased me once. I'm just staying up here. So hopefully he just continues to stay up there, maybe makes a nice little fucking nest or a nice little web, catches these motherfucking flies. So I want to be in partnership with this spider, just like, you catch the flies and stay up there, I'll send them your way. So anyways, but I'm going to call around and see if I can get the brakes done cheaper. And then that other grease monkey thing, whatever the fuck, I'm going to have to just see. Because neither thing was like an emergency. Neither was going to stop. But they always are like, well, you know, you just don't ever know. But, you know, it seems fine. But anything can go wrong on a road trip. Yeah, I know. But everything seems to be okay for now. And so then I'll drive early in the morning, so not having to deal with the temperatures, which a cold front is moving through the Midwest and the East Coast is supposed to be really horrible. Like, where they're going to have snow in September, I guess. And, but over here and in Texas, it was still showing we're in heat waves, which over in Texas still, our temperatures are being higher, is at least the same, if not higher. And Crystal said in Oklahoma, theirs are like below, because they're in the 70s when they're usually in the 90s. And we're in the 90s when we're usually in the 70s. So everything is just flipping upside down and being weird. But and things are so fucking weird. I swear to God. It's so beyond the, how fast time is moving. Time is moving so motherfucking fast right now. I can't even believe it. It's like all morning. Because Stella's having a rough night. I was having the most crazy fucking night because I was being in this, like, again, this long fucking dream. And it was just so weird. And it was like, this one part where I was like, went into this weird house thing. I don't even remember all the weird stuff, but getting into this house thing, and I was with two other people. No, I think it was Stella and some guy. And we were in, and so we go into there, and it seems like I wanted to use the bathroom or something, but it was way weirder. So we go into this building house thing, and go up through, and I'm looking around, you know, like I don't want anybody to see me, which I have no idea why I don't want anybody to see me. And then I get to wherever it is, and then I don't remember. It seems like I don't know what I was doing in this fucking place, but me and this person get split up. So then I am trying to find my way back out, or me and Stella are trying to find our way back out. It seems like there was another person with me too, but I remember Stella being there too. But so we're trying to find our way out, and then and it's like a maze. And then I go down these stairs, which I think I'm going into the right ones, but then all of a sudden I'm on this porch. It's like a hoarder's porch with these two dogs. So I go back in the house real quick and shut the door. It's like, fuck, I can't go out there, especially I'm not taking Stella out there. And I'm like, that's not the right way we came in. So then it's like backtrack and start going. And then I realize this guy's missing. And all of a sudden these other people come that are like a part of this house. And then they're trying to help me. And they're telling me these other people are killers. And they've already got the guy. This dream was so fucking long. And it just kept going and going and going. And it didn't matter if I got woke up. It just went right back into this weird fucking shit. And it just goes and goes and goes. So, anyways, that was weird. And then I was just being so uncomfortable. So I know Stella's uncomfortable. Whenever I'm so uncomfortable, I know she's uncomfortable. And then plus she keeps me up all night. And so then I got up and checked my phone. I don't remember what time it was. I don't think it was 3 yet. And then I was like, oh well, just got up and started making my tea and shit. Started feeding her. And then, and I made up, I went and got some RSO yesterday because her pain has been so much more. So I went and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get some RSO. So I already had that one, but we went through 1 tube. I had one other tube, but I'm going to be leaving. I was like, fuck, I can't just leave her here. And it stresses me out to leave her anyways. And then, so I made up all these little treats with RSO on them, like our glucosamine treats with RSO. So I made up all these treats for my mom to put into her food. And so I did that and did some other stuff. But every time I would go and check my phone, it was like, I couldn't even believe it's already 4:22. Just when I looked at the thing, it was 4:20. And then I set my tea down and pick up my phone. It's 4:22. It's like, fuck, things are just, this time is just moving super fast. And, which is weird because time isn't even real. So like the clocks, it's like, I don't know, it's like a movie where all of a sudden all the clocks start going real fast or something. It's weird. So, in this non-stop motherfucking spraying, I swear to God, I can't even fucking believe. And for days, my mom has been saying, I'm so dizzy. I keep being so dizzy. I don't know what's wrong. I just get so dizzy and it gets so hot. Like, well, and she's like, I can't figure out. And she'll try and figure out, like, well, maybe I said, well, maybe it's too much sugar or something. And like, if you just drink a sugar drink, and then, because that's what I'll think. Like, if I all of a sudden have a thing, I'll feel like it's a spike in that. But also, though, I consider the energy on the planet and what's going on. And that's something that she doesn't really. So it was that I said that. I said, well, there's a lot of intense energy. Yesterday, there was big solar, whatever, a big whiteout thing on the Schumann. So it was having big spikes. So that's what I would say. If you're feeling like all dizzy and feeling weird and shit, it probably has to do with the changes that are going through the atmosphere right now, the planet or whatever. Hold on. So, so anyways, but she had been feeling a lot of physical stuff from that, and she says, it's just so weird. I keep getting so dizzy. I don't know what's wrong. I keep getting so dizzy, and she's been saying it for days. So, sometimes I take a drink and it feels like, I don't know, like powder stuck in my throat. I swear, I feel like with this thing with my throat and stuff, I feel like my throat chakra is being under attack right now. For the past, whatever it's been, a week with this sore throat thing. When I was a kid, though, every time I got a sore throat, I would lose my voice. So, anyways, but I keep having this super sore throat. Keep feeling like, but I keep thinking it's got to be like the poison and stuff. So, anyways, but everything's going fast. Everything's moving fast. Everything's weird as shit. The dreams are weird as shit. They're so intense and so real. And then, which my daughter came again last night in the dream. She just keeps showing up and showing up. It's so weird. It must be her energy is getting more into the forgiveness and more towards, it's pulling in a new direction, because I don't think otherwise. I don't think she'd be showing up in my dreams and being in a good mood. She'd be showing up being bitter and angry. So, and she's showing up like, super like angelic and beautiful, like real, which to me would be more of a healed spirit, which that's what I thought the whole time was her cutting me off. She needed to heal. She needed to go through her healing. And I know when I was younger, I went through a whole phase of everything wrong in my life was my parents' fault. If I would have had good parents, if I would have had this, if I would have had that, I wouldn't have problems. But it's just as like a development stage you need to go through and work your way through it. A lot of people get stuck in it. They don't move past it. But anything you go through, you need to work your way through it, or you will just set up home in this place that you don't want to stay. So, but life also will bring you things to motivate you or push you in a certain direction. And so some people, I don't know that they are meant to have the same kind of healing. They're meant to see this side of themselves that gets them stuck. And they have to go through the part of not healing so that they can see what holds them back. And so, because the things are more stagnant, there's more to, like I've said, what your chemical makeup, the DNA structure of you, your coding. It's so much more deeper and complex than we give any kind of notice to. And so and it is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the more simpler things you're kind of healing, but some people have some really stagnant energy that really holds them back. But I swear to God, there's something about this fucking religion thing and the hold it has on people that is something deeper inside of them. It's really, I don't know. I'm so curious to watch how all this plays out. And it's in play. It's in play right now. I just can't even fucking believe it. So last night, when I got done with all my stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, and then I'm having to get up and do shit. But I just sat down and was like, okay, I'm just gonna look on TikTok, see what's going on, because I'll turn on a movie or something, but I just can't get. It doesn't catch my attention. I'm gonna keep being like, when it was going on, when it was going on. So then I'll go on TikTok to see what's going on, and and I was seeing video after video after video of the people who are on all these words, I swear to God. So the tales of the crypto. So it was so many, and talking about the X and the R and explaining things. It was so many videos about it, and people I had never seen before. So it was one after another after another. And a lot of the people who were on that, like, I invested into silver when I started hearing what was going to go down, which Charlie had said all that way back. We were going to go on the chain that's a block, and that's what's happening. And so you had people talking about that and trying to explain what it means. And so he said we were going to change off of the fiat onto the SWIFT, and people talking about that. So all the things that he had talked about, that I heard about way back in 2020, is all going. It's all, the dominoes are falling finally. And so, so you have all these people talking about. But at that time, when they were talking about we're going to go back on the gold standard, and silver's been repressed, and that was a really good, solid investment to make, because it was going to, when the bankers go down and the system switches over, that metal will no longer be repressed, and it's going to go up to its status. It's going to go to where it needs to go, which is going to increase, because they've held it back so long so that they could use the petrol in order, and it was all shenanigans, all in the laundry system of why they use the petrol. And there's just a lot of shit going on in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. So the places that had to do, because I'm pretty sure that's where the whole thing came, like they were going to give us the value to the dollar through this, petroleum. It's all shenanigans. It's all bullshit laundry system. And you can go in and try and understand how it's going, or how they tried to do it. But I guess apparently, though, you can just also go on to the debt calculator and look for the PDFs, and it will explain the whole system and how it started, the corruption and all that. So, but there was all I can see is like, it's just a bullshit. And so and now we're going to switch into something that is not run by criminals. And so, but the silver was going to go up by a huge amount. And then not only that, because in the Sargasara thing, that it also had like 6,000 patents. So if it was like it wasn't just like people disappearing. There was people who, because there's lots of people who are in touch with the higher mind, but they just don't really acknowledge it. Not everybody understands their connection to the higher mind or spirituality or whatever. So they think like, oh, I'm so smart or whatever. But so there was a lot of scientists that were given information, could have been from any old beings out there, were of technology. And so then they would try and get a patent, and the patents would be held back, refused, whatever. They wouldn't, but they were held. And so there's like 6,000 of them or something that is higher technology, things that'll benefit us. And so there's supposed to be a whole bunch of stuff that's all of a sudden going to come. It's going to be a big jolt into our technological world, into how we live and stuff. There's going to be a lot of new technologies that are going to be a lot more beneficial. And so, but they hold them back because they want us to be the slaves, because they feed off of our energy. And so they need us to be down in the dumps so they can get the energy that they want, which is so, but you think of it like we're in the dark, and so they're going to live off the dark. if they lived off the light, they wouldn't be in the dark. They live off the dark, so they promote or provoke the darkness in us to come to the surface. So, and keeping us sick, keeping us down, keeping us divided, keeping us sad, keeping us feeling small. So all the things that they do, and then definitely not giving us technology and stuff that's going to benefit us. No, they want to keep us flipped back. I think in one of those videos that I had seen the other day, they even said that every time that we start to move forward in advance, that they do a reset. So I think they've done a lot of resets. I mean, they want to talk about like Noah's Ark or, you know, the flood or this, but I think that they've done a lot. And I think that they have been more localized areas sometimes. Like, they haven't had so much global influence at one time as what they more have now. But they've worked and worked and worked their way up to control this place, then move over here, control this place, move over here, control this place. And just, it's like a, you know, making their web bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but also right now, their reset is a little different, because it's like they want to just knock us all back to where we are more dependent on them for our health, because we're all sick as fuck. And then the housing, so we all live in apartments. It's so wacky how many apartments are going up here. It's the wackiest thing you've ever seen. I'm sure it's in all the different cities though. It's so fucking wacky. It's like, but also we're marked for a 15-minute. And there's just apartments. Now Costco has a whole village being built around it. My mom and I were joking yesterday, Costcoville, and it's just the weirdest thing. So but that is what it's going to be. You know, you have your place that you're allowed to shop in your little area, your neighborhood, and that's your world. You have to pay to get out of there. And if you try, well, you're taking too much carbon. You're sucking the world dry of life. It's like, it's absurd. And then I'm sure they'll just get more and more disgusting water. Just flush your toilet and just circle back up to your faucet, probably. Well, you better clean out your own. It's like, it's disgusting. So anyways, but we have so many apartments going up. And and their whole plan is to get that kind of control. And then it's also your, like right now, how it's like a credit score. And it's based on, you know, how much they can make you feel guilty and how much you're, you know, you'll work on so you can get a little bit higher. There was a commercial yesterday where we were at the mechanics. It was so ridiculous. It's like Karma, what was that? Credit Karma. I think it's Credit Karma, which, oh my God. And they will help you increase your credit score so you can get more credit. And so it's just this it's like this debt loop that we just keep in. It's the debt slavery. And we just, you know, well, we can't get ahead, so we just need more credit. Well, we need to have a good credit score in order to get more credit. So it just is this fucking ridiculousness. But they were going to move out of that as much and more into compliancy. So, and watching us all the time. So I don't know, like I would be in big trouble because I speak against them and I refuse these things and stuff. So the more compliant you are to what they tell you, then you're a good citizen and you can have more things, so you can spend your money or whatever. And it'd be harder and harder to get money. So they had a plan, but it wasn't so much just a reset, but they are destroying places because then they can move people out of the areas and then they can start stripping the minerals out from those areas and keep condensing us into smaller areas. Which that's not what's going to be the freedom cities. There's a difference in the 15-minute and the freedom. And so in the freedom ones, it's going to be resources. You're not paying for resources and stuff. And there's they're already starting this. There's going to be no more what is that called? taxes on your houses or whatever, because they've taken so many people's houses from, their houses were finally paid off, but then they couldn't afford the taxes because they were on Social Security or whatever. And so then they would take their houses, especially, they're not just on Social Security, but then they keep you so strapped with how much medication you need and how sick you are because they're so depleted from minerals and so overburdened by toxins. And they think that they're just older and that's the way it goes. But no, it's all fucking bullshit. So it's not like the same kind of reset, but it's like really speeding things up to go in a certain direction. But the flip side is going to be this other one, which also with silver is, if you've got some, hold on to it. As soon as it switches, don't just go and switch it out. Hold on to it, because there's going to be more with the technology that is going to make it more valuable. And so it's going to keep increasing for a while. So just keep that in mind of it. It's an investment. So don't just turn around and sell real quick when it first switches, because it's going to keep going up and keep going up, and then you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass that you didn't hold on to it longer. But the people who have the X and the R and who are invested into these certain coins that are a bit, it's all going to be, it has to do with the chain that's a block and the coin that's a bit and all of these different things. I still say the coin that's a bit is going to go down, because it was kind of their, the elites' way in order to pass money through certain systems and not be recognized, so they didn't have to use their credit card or something. They could buy this coin, and then that coin could go and pay for, their enjoyment of watching a Red Room torture chamber situation. So that was, there's a lot of dark energy behind that. But there's other ones, because they all kind of followed the format of that coin that's a bit, and then they put in other ones. And then, so not all of them have the same darkness attached. I would say probably the X one is probably, that's why it's being used by now. It's going to be how we, through the government, how they use it now. That's going to be how money is moved around, which I don't understand all of this crypto shit. So, but there's tons and tons of videos out there with men explaining it, because there's such a big thing happening right now in that world. And a lot of them are just fucking jacked up because they are about to become millionaires. So they're all super excited and really excited to tell you and trying to explain to you how you too can also invest. And so, but all I know is that, listen, Charlie, it has to be asset backed, and which the one that's next is about to be backed by a whole shit ton of gold from the government. So it's going to be asset backed. And so that's the primary thing that I understand about it, is like, just don't go invest in any old, thing. Go and listen to some of these people. But they're still, apparently, they're saying there's still time to invest. So, now would be the time to figure out what you're going to invest in and start doing it, because this other thing is about to go down. And so, but I saw so many videos of it yesterday. I was like, oh man, full speed ahead. It feels like we're moving now. Like the train has left the station. You know how it starts out slow, chug, 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 chug. But now we've built up steam and it's moving full speed ahead. And I still think this weekend's going to be significant. It seems like it's already going in a certain direction that is, again, whacked out. I swear to God, it is like things get so wacky so these people can see their wackiness. It's like, these people are so motherfucking whacked out. I can't even fucking believe it sometimes. Like, it's, where's Donald? It's like, oh, where were you guys saying, well, where's Joe? Like, when Joe was missing for weeks and falling down and shit, oh, they didn't give a shit about that. They're busy fucking, I don't know, planning Burning Man trips or some bullshit. But now, because I just saw Donald all this week, he's been out there live, as he comes across the thing, I'll go upstairs and I'll see him, and it's live, and he's signing EOs and talking about what's going on in DC and meeting different leaders and all this stuff. And so to me, he's been right out there. But I guess, I don't know what the fuck. I think it is, for one thing, I have a hair in my mouth, hold on. For one thing, in the same sense that you have these propaganda pushers that are being paid to lead people in the wrong direction. So that's come out, out into the open. So that has been seen by, I don't know, the people who want to see it. And then, but there's people who still are in the dark, the ones that listen or something, that refuse to see, or just confirmation, don't pay any attention. There's something just odd. The whole thing's odd. But it's all because this is, you can't do something you're not meant to do. So that's why, you can sit there all day long trying to get them to see, or I think there's a hair stuck in between my teeth or something, trying to get them to see or whatever, but they're not going to be able to understand. It's like, you're going to sound like Charlie Brown's mom. They can't decipher what you're saying because they're not meant to. So it does you no good to go and try and wake people up. I swear to God, you just got to let that shit go. And they're all on their own awakening schedule. They all have their own pattern, their own relevant pattern of life that they have to play through. And so and it's set. You can't, all these people, these spiritual people are trying to tell you can change shit. They don't even understand about destiny or fate or anything. They just go by these little drop things, and then they think that they've got all the answers, and then they start telling people, oh yeah, you can just jump from this life to that life, you can do that. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so, which you can go from being at your worst into being at your best, but it takes you doing the work. Like, you're going to have to take yourself out of the drama, move yourself over here, which the drama is going to keep grabbing at you. You got dark attachments and stuff, so the drama is going to keep, and then you have to start pushing back, which that is your healing, pushing back off of it, letting it go. And in that process, you got to acknowledge yourself and how you got there in the first place. So it's a whole changing your patterns in order to move towards your best life, which again, when they sit there and say, just jump from one to the other, again, like, well, how did you develop then? Where you've just missed all this development, you figure, well, some portion of me did it, so I'm just going to ride that wave. But then how did it ever get there? Because a time traveler, like, you're just going to jump time and you're going to go over here. But then how did it happen? Because who played it out? If it's your thing to play it through so you get to where you're going, then who did it? So it doesn't happen. So you have to be the one who creates it. So you have to create the journey to your best self. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'm whacked out, but that's how I see it. And they just want to jump. Go over here. Well, jump over there. Jump over there. But how the fuck did you get there? You're just banking on that happens, and that your best version of your best self is there. But again, how did it fucking get there? Somebody had to do the work. Somebody had to get it there. So anyways, and nobody can do your work for you. There's another motherfucking thing. So anyways, so when you do want to jump and go into your best self, yeah, you can jump out and leave your old self behind, but you're jumping into a new field of existence. and you got to find your way through it to get to where you're going. It's like it's the process of the soul. It's the journey of the soul. It's like that they don't even want to understand anything about the soul's journey or soul's existence or any of that stuff. They just want to, I don't know, they just want fast food restaurants. So whatever, they want it quick. Give it to me fast. Give me what I want. So anyways, you know, but your soul isn't like that. Your soul's got nothing but time. It's got fucking eternity. It's eternal. It's got eternity working on its side. So yeah, it is a lot more about development. It's about a lot more about becoming, not just being this to this. It is how do you become this? It's the shedding the old self. Yeah, it is like a snake. And it just goes from this to this. Well, what happened to the old skin? How did it shed the old skin? It's like you've got to shed your old self to become your new version of your new self. So anyways, and it's a micro macro. Everything in nature shows you the truth. You just have to be more aware or be, I don't know. I don't even know because, I mean, there's people that question my understanding. I fucking don't know how I have it. It started when I was little and it's just been going ever since. And I just understand things that either I'm crazy or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy. So, and I have also been living this stuff. So, but, you know, when you talk to them, well, we all make our own existence. And so, okay, well, in my existence, this is what it's about. So I'm going to talk about my existence. So in my existence, you have to go from being one thing into being the other. But once you jump ship, you got to swim over to the other one. So you got to get to where you're going. And then, another thing too, is you get to the next ship, which is all good and everybody's happy there. And if you're bringing in a bunch of garbage, they're going to keep knocking you back down. Like, hey, we don't want you here. We're having a good time. We don't need your negativity, your toxic energy. We don't need it here. And you can't just carry it with you and just take it wherever you want because you have to meet the vibration. And so, again, how do you meet the vibration if you just jump from there to there? Because that is not, you would still be the same vibration. So you would just be bringing your toxicity with you. So, anyways, yeah, and then you would just, even if you thought you were in your best life, you would come to find you were just surrounded by drama and nonsense and bullshit. So, and that's what we have a lot of people who are starting to realize too. Just like I said, they thought that they were building themselves up, but really they were digging themselves into a hole. And so, yeah, you have these people out here who are misleading a giant amount of people, which is fucking karmic debt, in an energetic entanglement. So which is what you don't want to have. That's what keeps you fucking trapped in this fucking density. So those are the things you want to be letting go of. That's why sovereignty is so important. Not just being a follower and not just being led and not just leading people off the fucking cliff. So sovereignty is where you want to be, not just like a part of a group or a part of this or a part of that. It's being an independent and being more sure of yourself, being like, well, you guys can do what you want, but this is what I'm doing, and not giving a shit. If they're all sitting over there like, oh my God, can you believe how stupid they are? Fuck, who cares? Who fucking cares? I mean, especially at this day and time when you can see the idiocracy in this fucking world, and then you're sitting here worried about what they think of you. Like, that just shows your own insecurities and the things that you need to work on. Because, and believe you me, I'm not in judgment, because I was fucking insecure as fuck. I didn't conform to what other people thought. I just took the fucking, the laughing at me and telling me what an idiot I was. I just took it. But it was, I didn't become like, okay, well, whatever you guys think. It's like, but I say that kind of meanly, but it is, whatever you do, there's lessons behind it, and it's what you do is what you're supposed to do. So I was supposed to learn the lessons by standing on my own and becoming stronger in my own beliefs, while others, chose to conform. But then there's going to be the dark side of that that's going to be showing. It's going to rear its ugly head here in, shortly. So, and that's where people are going to, that, I swear to God, every time I look at it, it just looks like the Emperor's New Clothing moment. This time, oh, I'm so great, and then all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, I'm naked. And then it's like, oh God, I'm naked. It's like a whole thing. And that's where these people are their ego is all of a sudden going to feel very exposed. And, which is going to be a good thing for them, even though it's going to feel like super horrible. It's going to be super depressing, super awkward for them. But, awkwardness is what helps you to grow. That's the humbling. You got to humble yourself. And the ego needs some humbling at times. So it's like the great awakening is the great humbling. It's the remembering and the great humbling. So anyways, but you have these people who are leading people in the wrong direction. And the people who keep following it are just on it, man. They are hook, line, and sinker. They are still in it. So even though it's, coming out that these people are making all this money to mislead them and being paid by the SOROS, that they are still just like, oh, well, they don't even hear it. They don't pay any attention. That's why I said, like, you could sit there and tell them, you could show them the article, and they would just be like, I can't see anything. So you just gotta let them, they're gonna see for themselves. We're all equal in the sense of the intelligence of our soul and what it is, and it's programmed. So we're programmed into, it's like a flight plan is what it reminds me of. Like, you've got a plan, it's the blueprint of your life. And so it's going to happen, even though there's all these, they're NPCs, they're stupid, they're this, they're that. Well, it's just their flight plan has a different route to get to where it is that they need to get to, because it has to do with their soul's lessons. It has to do with the experiences that they've endured throughout their soul's journey and stuff. And it's the way of the completion of going full circle. And so there's parts of themselves that they have to witness in order to complete the frame. The circle has got to go and meet itself. And so but at this time, they are really being whacked out again. So whatever it was, on the 24th, where they were all just banking on Donald's leaving the state. I mean, they were all just sure of it. The astrology people had said it, the psychics had said it, which are all blue, which are all part of this whole thing. And it's so weird too, because I have these tarot readers that'll pop up on my thing all the time, and they're just reading to us all. But I always think, like, well, it's weird, because I'm sure that they're very liberal and that they would be very disgusted to know that they're speaking to some people who are not in the same group as them. But it's just weird. Like, just like that guy, well, we're not going to hire anybody that's a liberal. Or no, we're not going to hire anybody that's a MAGA. And it's like, but you're going to take their money? Like, you're going to take their money, but you're not going to give them a job. It's like, so it's, but that is a sense of integrity. It's a sense of the depth of somebody's soul, It's like their moral compass. It's like it's off. Their navigation is off. Their compass is whacked out and going all over the place. And they don't know how to find their way home. Because going home, for one thing, you would not be being divided. You wouldn't be being like, oh, I'm going to lump them in one group and they're all shitty. And you wouldn't be saying, well, I'm going to take their money. Oh, their money is good. I'll take that. If you're going to segregate yourself, then fucking segregate yourself, dude. Don't sit there and say, oh, I'll take everybody's money, but I'm not going to hire you. It's like, fuck off. It's like, Jesus Christ. So anyways, but they all have to see these sides of themselves. And the universe is going to be happy to hand them a mirror. So it's coming. They're going to see it. There's no getting around it. And, but, so right now, so the 24th, which is just the other day, is now we're the 30th, so it hasn't even been a full fucking week. And they were like, oh, he's gonna die today. That's it. He's dead. Oh, we're celebrating. I've already got my champagne. I'm excited. It's like video after video after video. It's like, you people are warped as fuck, man. Especially when what we just went through with Joe, like through the people who had awareness. And we were aware of what we were going through. The rest of them didn't even fucking pay one fucking bit of attention. All they paid attention to was where they were going to go have drinks tonight. What am I going to wear? It's like, so, anyways, the shallowness of this fucking world. So, but now they're back on it. I don't know. It's like somebody on Twitter started it. It's like the telephone game or something. It's so fucking wacky, man. So this morning, I go on to the thing, and it's video after video. Where's Donald? Where's Donald? And they are all so excited. Oh, they're going through his calendar and shit. They're sure. They're even talking about, oh, so, and the White House is going to make a big announcement today or something. And they're talking about, oh, with JD, and do we want oh my God. So, but then I saw somebody was talking about, it all started on Twitter. Somebody on Twitter said this. It's like, oh, so it's probably one of these people being paid to start a fucking, we're going to push the stone down and just watch it roll. And here we go. And so, yeah, this is, it's like the last stand of your ego or something, to show yourself of really how rotten you are inside, that you are this hateful and this divisive, and that you hope that somebody you don't like is dead and stuff. But I gotta say again, I am in no place to be throwing stones at Gladys houses, because I was like that over Junior. Like, I was fucking livid over that bitch. I mean, he consumed my fucking thoughts. I could not stand that fucking ass. And I did speak openly of, like, I'm going. I'll take that motherfucker out. I could stand him, man. And, but, so I get it. And I was also a Trump hater there for the first few years that he was in the reign, the first one. And so I was a hater too. I believed the media and all their bullshit. And so, so I'm not, no shame on them, even if I sound like it's like, these stupid assholes. But, I know that they're going to feel the pain of their own perspectives here soon. And so it's not, but in this storyline, it is like, Jesus Christ. So so somebody started this rumor, Donald's missing. Donald's nowhere to be seen. They're sure because he had a bruise on his hand, because I saw people going over and over, oh, this bruise on his hand, but she was making sure people saw this bruise, which to me is like, it's probably motherfucking makeup. Like, besides the fact that there's not just one Donald. There's not just one of any of these people. It's all a fucking show. And so, but for him to make sure, he wasn't trying to hide this bruise. And, he's got makeup, people. Like, he could put makeup over this fucking bruise on his hand. And as a nurse, when there was older people who were fragile and stuff, I get injured all the time, but I don't know. I don't think I'm to that point of just like you hit your arm and then you have this bruise. It's like giant. And I think probably some of the people who get those is probably because they're on the thinners of the blood. And so they have, and then their skin is super fragile because it's lost collagen and it's lost all its structure. So it kind of becomes like this thin paper that goes over it, and they don't really have a lot there. And then there's, this is all done by, those little things that'll save your life. Just take a blue one, a red one, whatever, yellow, green, we got them in all colors. Just grab one and take them by the handful. And so those things cause all this stuff to deteriorate. But people think it's saving them, but it's doing the opposite. So anyways, but I've seen where older people, like, you can bump your hand and you get this ginormous bruise. So, and probably they wanted to create this speculation of his dying because they want these people to see how much hate they carry because of how they turn into, like, yesterday when we were at the mechanics, they had the Animal fucking Planet on. I cannot stand those channels. But they had these marsupials, which they look like little tiny bear cubs. They're cute as fuck, but they are vicious as a motherfucker. And they've got these teeth, and they're meat eaters. And they had this one scene where they were just tearing shit up and going to town, tearing some animal up, eating the fuck out of it like fucking hyenas. And so it's kind of like in the micro macro that is kind of what these people are going to be seeing in themselves. Like they are like the little marsupials ready to tear shit up. They just want to tear them up. So anyways, so the rumor has begun that Donald's missing. And then I saw videos the few days before the 24th where they're like, I'm just sitting there all day watching his ankles grow. It's like, what in the world? Like, you talk about people who are consumed by this guy, and they talk about other people drink the Kool-Aid. You guys need to put the fucking cup down, B. Like, it's insane how much you are focused on this with your, it's like I say at the end of the fucking recording. You know, you choose where you focus your energy on the day. You choose the day you want to have. And if you're going to just sit there and focus on somebody's demise and how much you hate them and stuff like that, you're choosing that for your day. And you're choosing, oh, I'm just watching his ankles grow, just waiting for him to keel over. It's like, okay, well, that's how you want to spend your day. It's kind of weird. Because there's a lot of things, you know, you could be growing, you could be having some fun, you could be doing some art, you could just take your focus off of that and do some focusing on something else, but they're all so hyper-focused on him, and they're all so sure he's a monster, because the media told them so, and these influencers. So they, this whole thing, so it's video after video after video of he's missing. And people trying to show his calendar, and he's gone. And now people are like, oh, they're so excited. This has got to be it. They're making an announcement today. He's gone. He's dead. Leg. You know, it's, what is that? The Wizard of Oz, when the Wicked Witch is dead, and all the little no, those aren't Oompa Loompas. What are those people? The Oompa Loompas were the Willy Wonka, right? The little people in the Wizard of Oz. When the witch is dead, and they come out singing that song. I can't remember. The Wicked Witch is dead. Which, you know, another thing, the Sphere. So the Sphere in Vegas is like you're being inside of the mind. It's like you're being inside the firmament. The show is on, and that's all I can see. And it's like the firmament, the show, the world, and a smaller version. And it's so weird because the people go in and they're just like, whoa. And they, right now, I think it's right now, maybe it was last week, I don't know if they changed the movie, like a movie theater or whatever, but they were doing the Wizard of Oz. And so, in the tornado scene, there's somebody who was there showing the tornado scene, and they started making it like you were in the tornado. And all I can see is that's what this world is that we're in. That is what we're in. We're in the sphere. They've created our sky. They've created our world. The whole thing is like the fucking sphere. Micro, macro, dude. So, but that is like, to me, it's like a smaller representation of where we're at, what we're in, is this sphere, and it's creating our environment. It's creating our reality. And so, because in the sphere you become so absorbed into it. But anyways, the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of Oz made me think about, oh yeah, that's the movie right now in the sphere, and the scene, which it was cool when they were showing it, because you're in the tornado and it's going around you and the witch is coming up to you. It's like three-dimensional, like, whoa. So, anyways, oh, and another thing I saw is this Burning Man that's going on right now, which just gets weirder and weirder. So I don't know, the storm must be over, whatever storm, because they're just out partying now. But there's people who have brought their kids. What? You brought, like, what? It's a fucking drug fest. Yeah, it's got art and it's got music, but everybody's fucking, the whole thing is about going out into the desert and all doing drugs together, and there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of people out there with no clothes, like barely covered. It's all just extreme. Why would you want to expose your kids to that? Do people not want their kids to be innocent anymore? They want them to be like, yeah, I was going to Burning Man when I was 6 years old, man. I've fucking done it all, been there, done that. And they're like 12. It's like, let them have the fucking fun of being innocent, of experiencing innocence. Like, for fuck's sake, man. What the fuck? Oh, and we got a whole fucking wave of more weirdo fucking people doing weirdo shit to kids. Like, fucking, goddamn. What is the one? He didn't put it in the garbage disposal, something. He got mad because he ate the oatmeal cookies or some shit. Put him in did something. Did him in. Little adopted 6, 7-year-old kid. It's like, this poor kid, you know, these are all soul things. So it can seem like outrageous to us, but, you know, I'm just glad I'm not involved in all their back and forth crazy shit, man. So, and it's all stuff, you know, you're going to face it. There's no getting away from it. It's going to come in front and center. And right now it's developing people into their reality, where they're going. So, just like that lady, 100 years in prison, her little prison is going to float out and become a little reality out in time and space. Now it's going to become her world. And so some of the rest of us are going to be doing our healing, shedding our old selves, and moving into a better time. And so everybody's going to be going wherever it is you're meant to go. Whatever you're meant to experience is going to play out. So, but in the here and now, today, so we have all these people that are just so excited and can't wait for this announcement this morning, because Donald's gone, the Wicked Witch is dead, and they're ready to move on with their lives. I mean, they are all so excited to get news, man. It's like, the weirdest fucking shit, man. It's just take any old criminal, as long as he's got the hair and the smile, put a suit on him. That was the whole thing, too, behind the whole thing with Barack. I mean, he was one of the dancing boys for the I don't want to say the CARTL, but the TER, like the ISIS, like whatever organization he was the dancing boy for. And which right now, the CARTL has drawn a line in the sand to our military and said, oh, you're a joke. Come at us, bitch. So we got this thing that's going to play out, because it's going to be a big, everything is a show. That's all I know. It's a fucking show. So, and there's more on the fucking trans guy who's out. Oh, also, his dad was in the CIA, so I'm telling you, this shit is all a fucking show. So, and the more you get caught, well, it's really sad, though. Oh, and there's a whole fucking weird thing about the 2, because it was 2 gone and 17 injured, and then there's a whole fucking thing with this movie coming out about the 2 and 17. It's like, it's wacky. It's all a fucking intricate show. And that's why you don't want to just get all like, well, but it's so sad. This is happening. That's happening. And, well, is it? Is it really? So, anyways, that was the thing about, you know, Barack coming from this other place and being, you know, a little dancing. And if you don't know what the dancing boys are, they were used as sex toys by those people. And so he was passed around, and then I don't know why they decided that they were going to put him in, I don't know, because he had the look, that they thought, oh well, Americans like this, and then they sent him to training. There's even the guy who came out that trained him, who was a gentleman in Chicago or something, and so they trained Barack to be a gentleman. But what was he doing? He was driving around in his limo, doing crack with fucking crackheads, having sex in the back of the limo. Like, I was gonna say, I wonder if Michael knew about that, um, but he had to know because it's been out there. I mean, that guy came out, and before they took him out with the red tie, he came out and was publicly saying it about what he did with him in the back of the limo while they were doing crack. So, anyways, that whole everything is bullshit. But anyways, yeah, he was never a gentleman. Just like fucking Gavin isn't either. You put on a fucking suit and fix the hair and make a big smile. He probably practices it in the mirror like a fucking weirdo. And then these people are like, well, he's perfect. Okay, well, we're not even going to consider his crimes. You're so worried about this guy's crimes, but you're not going to consider anybody else's. Just like the whole wacky thing of like, that guy's the perv. There's about 1,000 billion pervs around us, but that's the only one I see. The rest of these guys, I don't know. That guy's the perv. It's like, Jesus Christ. So, anyways, but one of these people that was saying this morning, oh, he's gone. I really, really wonder what's going on. What's happening? I said, well, if you want to really know what's happening, I'll tell you. And so my thoughts on this little marketplace of deceiving is I would say that we're in the midst of a collapse of the economy, and the bankers are going to be fighting hard, and they like to, go in and dismantle places, blow shit up. So and so there's going to be those dramas that are going to play out, because we have to see how bad these guys want to hold on to power. So even if they're really not doing it, it's going to appear that there's a lot of that going on. And so what, in the time of war, what do they do with the president? They go and hide him. They go and put him in a safe place. He could be up driving around in an airplane, going around and around. They'll do that sometimes. So, I don't know. He could be in a fucking bunker. But they would be putting him somewhere to be safe, because they've got to keep the leader protected. So, and it's another thing that's absurd too, is these people just don't get, like, he's got the best medical available. And besides the fact, the med beds. So, oh yeah, and then you have like this whole thing with, what is it? Which magazine is putting, what's her name? His wife, Melania, on the cover. I saw I think it's two different ones. Like, she's on the cover of this one, and she has a crown on, which there was people who were speculating over that. And I had talked about this a while ago, couple of weeks ago, but I couldn't remember their name. And still, Rasputin keeps coming to my mind, but it's not that. But it was this royal family in Russia. It was like, I don't know, it was 1917 or in the 1700s. It seems like there's some of the 17 as usual. But the power force came in and killed that family. So killed the kid, everything. And I know the name starts with an R, but I can't think of it. But so they were killed. Well, now people are saying she is the heir to that crown. And then, so that's why they're putting her on this it has some kind of ties to that, which, we'll wait and see, because I have felt at times like she's from the other side of the ice wall. And so, but I don't know, we'll see, because they could have also taken heirs and moved them to the other side of the ice wall to protect them. So, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But then there's another magazine, which I think it's a different one, because I'm pretty sure that cover's already out. But there's another one that was saying they were going to put her on the cover. Well, then the editor or whoever it is, she said, You put her on, I'm quitting. And I'm taking all these people with me because we're all going to quit because they all hate Donald so much that they hate Melania and they want to fucking, we're not putting her on the cover of the magazine, which I don't know if it's Vogue or whatever. It's one of these magazines. And I don't know how that's going to play out, if they're going to, but somebody just did a video and said, what do you guys think they should do? And I was like, see ya. Get rolling. I'll help you pack. Get the fuck out. And so I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out because it's all a big show. But anyways, that's what I would say. He's missing, and if there's an announcement coming, it's going to be something about money or something about that. Because they've been so busy for all these weeks. He's been bringing in all these leaders, signing peace treaty, one after another. And now we got the CARTL. It's like, well, we're going to go against your military. You know, it's all coming to a head. It's all this stuff coming up. And for him to suddenly go into where they think he's dead, missing or whatever, and nobody's saying where he's at, then to me, it's because he's being protected and hiding because of this collapse is imminent. It's about to go. And that they know how dangerous that would be, even though they've already done so many arrests that it really wouldn't be, but it's still got to play out as if it is, just like we had to play through Joe, just as if it was really him, and people really believe it was. That's just going to be, there's so many things that are just so wacky. But anyways, that's what I think. So when you're hearing all these people like, oh, he's missing and he's dead and stuff like that, I say he's being protected and that they're about to collapse the economy. However it's going to play out, I don't know. If they're going to, how confrontational it'll be to the bankers, the system, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but we do seem to be on the brink of where the Fed, the Reserve, is being shut out, and that they are switching it all over to this this other system, SWIFT, instead of fiat. So there's all these changeovers, and it was going to have to become public at some point. So it seems that this is when things are going to go public, where we are going to now be told something about what's happening in the financial, the market, something. And once those things go, that is going to drop. That will drop. Wall Street will fall real quick. And it will be done more purposefully anyways. But, you know, people will be like, oh my God, because people who are invested, it's going to hurt. But I say that there are going to be some kind of reparations, you know, like they'll get things back. Like you lost everything in the market, the collapse, then, you know, we've got land for you. We'll give you a house. You know, there's going to be ways of things coming back. And so it's going to just, however it goes, there's going to be, it's going to be going more fairly. So it's going to pick up steam in like a fairness. And right now we're so used to being fucked over and desperately trying to just survive this place. But it's going to make an abrupt turn and go the other direction. And it's going to feel so weird to people, like, no way, you're going to just give me a place? Oh, what's the scam? What's the scam? You know, and it's going to not be a scam anymore. It's going to be like, no, you really get a place to live and nobody can take it from you. And so, but I still think there's going to be certain areas they're going to promote, because they're going to try and get as many people off the coastlines as possible, because the coastlines really are going to be swallowed up by the waters. And so the landscape is truly going to be changing on this earth plane. And so but that's what I would speculate is happening this weekend. Not that Donald's dead suddenly, because it's already in flood. Like I said, the train's already left the station, and it's picking up steam. So but if the collapse, so you take the street on the wall and then you collapse it, and then the people who had investments from the retirement and shit, they lose everything, which it was always going to be taken from you anyways. But once it goes, then that's gonna, like, it's gonna like corrupt or like bankrupt certain institutions, and like medical and shit. So certain institutions are going to become bankrupt, and more closing of places. So, and it's freaking people out. Hospitals closing, people losing their jobs and stuff like that. People are freaking out about it. But we're going in a new direction. And it's going to be a lot more based on you taking care of yourself and not needing those places. You're going to be more directed of how to take care of yourself. And so we're not going to need them. Everything that we don't need is being taken, and people freak out. Like, oh, well, we need SNAP, we need Medicare. Well, in this old world, but not in the new one. So, anyways, those places will go bankrupt and stuff like that. But the new places will start popping up, new ways to invest. And so there'll be like new technologies to invest in. There'll be new kind of businesses. Like people are going to want to invest into hover cars, which I was looking at them last night in my mind, and I was like, really, that's really spacecraft. Like really, we're going to start moving into spacecraft and moving around that way. So hover cars are just like a slowed down space car kind of, and then we're going to speed them up and speed them up and speed them up, I think. And so I always feel things crawling on me. So, my nose is running, my throat, oh God. But I swear to God, there's going to be such a release of tension when this shit goes. It's like things are going to change, and it's not going to be so much this fucking making us sick either. So, but RFK is fighting for that, and then he is, trying to make it really public, but I still feel like, a lot of people don't pay any attention. So I swear to God, it just continues or something. Because you'd think at this point that we would, they wouldn't be able to keep making us sick. But it is, I don't know, because it's kind of like the people who can see or noticing, like I got to take care of myself. I got to detox. I got to eat right. I got to sleep right. Do all these things to take care of myself. And so they're going in that direction. And then the people who aren't are getting sicker and sicker, and then noticing like we're all sick. But see, I don't look at myself as being sick, even though I'll say, my symptoms to my mom, and she'll be like, oh, you're sick. It's like, no, I'm poisoned, mother. And so, but some of us realize, and then we know, like, well, we got to detox, we got to sleep more, we got to do this, we got to do that, drink more juice, whatever it is. And, but the other people, see, they're getting a different impact. So until it's like, wait a minute, why are we all sick? Why is this? Why is that? Because everything is about ask the questions. That's what needs to be done, is you need to ask the questions. You need to take notice through your awareness that something's up. And then you start asking, well, why? How is this going? So even though he's out there saying it, there's a lot of people not paying attention. So anyways, but we're moving into this other thing where I think it will stop, and we'll start being able to, it is like this changing the vibration of the whole environment when this, with awareness. So, and that will change, and then we'll start feeling better. We won't be so sick. We'll start building ourselves back up and stuff. So anyways, but, there will be investments opening up for people where people can get, more involved and more, like maybe there's people who are going to want to have, they're going to want to learn how to work on hover cars. They're going to want to learn how to, or they're going to want to set up a place in their own communities where hover cars are being made, and they're going to want to invest in that. There's going to be new ways of investing. There's going to be new things to invest into. And what we've had available to us for a long time has only benefited the other people. And then they do these weird market things. That's what you know, like people who get in power start getting into the play of where they'll bring something up and then they'll bring it over here, drop it over here, move it over here. They do all this stuff. And that's why it keeps us, you know, down here while they start moving up. But that is also a crime that some of them are going to be charged with because it's, whatever. Nancy's done a lot of it. But anyways, so it's all been criminal. It's all been crimes and it's all been manipulated and stuff like that. So I would say that that's going to collapse. But maybe that's what's going to be the first thing that's going to be tipped. Because also they have the housing market is just in a frail state right now. And so that can be tipped. There's a lot of things that are just going to tip and it's going to fall. And then there's going to be people are going to be trying to blame him and stuff. But he's been just trying to get rid of the people who are committing crimes against us, get rid of the gangsters. And we've been being run by gangsters for so long that people just accept it. It's like it's wacky. Well, he looks good in a suit. It's like, so fucking what, man? So fucking what? He knows how to say. That's the thing about Donald. Once you can get over your hate for him, is like the realness. He's not out there trying to just say what we want to hear. He just is real. It's like, yeah, this is bullshit. They're fucking stupid. She fucking thinks she's an Indian. You know, he just says whatever the fuck he wants. And that's like how we are. These other people are trying to be like so polished. It's like, you're a fucking fake ass, phony ass bitch, you puppet. Shut the fuck up. So, anyways, but the people still, you know, the shallow side of people still want the polish. They still want, like, lining up to get surgery on their, to change their face so they can look beautiful. It's like, but how is that beautiful when everybody is just this generic anime character? But now, though, they've gone into, I swear to God, the synthetics. So, but we're still lagging behind. People getting surgeries and fucking these doctors are whacked out and messing up people. So, the whole thing is so fucking wacky. But anyways, that's what I would say is going on this weekend. Is that this money thing is just building. It's about to go. There's all this stuff about September 1st on the Fed, on the pay. I'm not on the Fed. They say the Fed's gone down or going down. And but on the debt calculator page, that they said September 1st that things are going to change. I don't know if he has said some stuff. I think he's been saying a lot of stuff. But when I see people talking about the stuff he's been saying, they're always doing the breakdown and going and looking for the post. And there's posts that say what's going on behind the scenes. And there's a lot going on. And that's the thing, is like the letter, those posts, was like a roadmap to what was to come. But a lot of us, when we were hearing about it before, we thought that that meant it was about to go. But no, it was going to go years later. We'd go for a long while. So now we're to this point, though, where things are matching up with what's going on. And then you go look up the post, like they put out a keyword, you go look up the post, and it's like, oh, that's really going on. Oh, that's really going on. So there's a lot of matching stuff up. So there's a lot going, and then the biblical watchers, but they're also, you know, get right with Jesus, you're worthless. It's like, so anyways, it's a madhouse out there. It's total wacky. That's why you gotta keep yourself sane, and you can't get all caught up in the wackiness, because it's whacked out. But everybody was going to, yeah, I see it like in the ocean and all these waves, like it's real choppy and all the boats are going all wacky. Then all of a sudden it's going to become smooth waters, and so, but they're kind of in the wacky part when they're all trying to, you know, maneuver the storm. It is like parts of themselves being revealed to themselves. So then when the storm passes and we're on calm waters, that's when the time of mirrors, that's when they're going to really get a good hard look at themselves. And it seems like September is the building up to it, or the happening, the something, because I know it is going to have stuff to do with the money, the economy, because it only makes sense, where they think he's this rotten person, but all of a sudden he's going to give us freedom and abundancy and wealth, and he's going to be the one that is the huge what is that called? The flipping of the wealth, where these rich people are suddenly going to lose everything and the poor people are going to get this stuff. It has to do a lot with what's been the crimes that they were involved with, that they lose all their assets, and all their assets go back to people, but also all of the hoarding of the gold. And the gold has been distributed through all of the different countries. So there's an equality to the gold, and so then it's kind of like spending it right, and it's going to go back into communities and back into building up the countries and stuff, but also we're going to become one world. We're not going to stay divided out, like America is against Russia. No, like we're going to all become like one big world, like Earth, the Earthlings and Earth. And, but, we've got some stuff to go through to get there. So I don't think it's going to be like immediate, but it's got to keep taking the steps to get there, because everything is the micro macro. We're taking the steps to become a better world. And so there will be this letting go and this moving into other spaces, which are going to feel uncomfortable because we're so used to what it was. And so, but things are going to keep getting better and better and better. But I think that is the part of him that looks like, oh, he's the bad guy, but then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, he's a pretty good guy. So it's going to be very flipping for the people who are looking at him, wishing him dead. And it's going to be like, oh my God, what if you would have died? We wouldn't have ever got here. It's like, yeah, bitches, shut the fuck up. And so, but destiny reigns. We can't just pray it out. We can't just force it to go the way we want it to go. It's destiny has a plan, and it's a movie, and we're playing it through. So anyways, but I would still say this weekend there's going to be shit going on, and there's obviously going to be people, this weird information leaking out, and people saying all sorts of stuff. So no telling how far they'll take it. And there's no telling, because even if the White House comes out and is like, well, we're not talking about him, I would just keep thinking, well, it's because it's part of the show, it's part of the game, but he's just being protected somewhere and being closed off because of, it's part of the show. And that the bankers are, kidding psychopaths. And people just think, oh, well, just the regular bankers. I know a bank manager myself, and he's a good guy. It's like, well, I'm talking about the people who own the bank. I'm talking about the people who hoard the money. I'm talking about the people who created the debt enslavement. I'm not just talking about the guys who go and work there. Like, not all those people are bad, but I think that once people start getting up to CEOs and shit, I mean, if you look up how many CEOs have passed away, over the last couple years, is a lot. And so a lot of these people, what they're willing to do to get to the top is going against the rest of us. And that's a crime. So there's a lot of shit that's going to continue to play out, and we'll see. But that just gives me more thinking, like this, whatever announcements are going to go, which, again, I'm supposed to be taken off on a plane early Wednesday morning or Tuesday in the middle of the night, however you want to look at it. So right after that, and it's like, well, shit, if it is like in the midst of this collapse, corporations are the ones flying us around. Are they going to be, well, we're grounding all the flights. Everything's grounded. Like, I don't know. Like, everything can, it's so crazy because, yeah, it seems like every time because I was saying something to my mom, and she's like, every time you start to go somewhere, you start talking like this. It's like, yeah, well, this shit isn't really going on. Like, and so we'll see. I don't know. But if I do, and then plus I'm going to be there for those days, and no telling what is going to be going on for those days. If the domino goes over, it's like, that's like the ball's in play now. We just got to see where it goes. So you can go like anything. Like, I mean, you can go to the store and them say, hey, sorry, we can't accept cards, we can't accept cash, we can't do anything. We're kind of stuck. And people are gonna, well, I'm not going to work. Well, I'm not doing. There's no telling. He's gonna be crazy. That's what I think. It's gonna be kooky. Once this stuff starts going, people are gonna really start showing these different sides of themselves. So I don't know. The plan, I think, is to try and keep things from being really kooky. So maybe it'll start going super fast. So I don't know, because there's a lot that has to change. There's a lot that has to go down, and it is the great humbling. So, um, God damn it. And I can't get these motherfucking ones off my thumbs. Because sometimes I just want to take them off and take a fucking break. But anyways, gotta keep those, the copper current going through my body. Trying to do whatever I can to stay healthy. And especially at these times of sickness. I think when we look back on this time in history, it's going to be like, we're going to be like, but that was a time when a lot of people were sick. It's like, man, if you survive that, because it's crazy how many people are sick and how sick they want to make us. And the amount of the CA that I was talking about the other day, and just their solution, the cure for that, is just another thing to make us all sick. It's like, man, it's wacky. This world is so wacky. And then if that's not getting you, the shit in the water, the shit in your food, they're spraying it right in the air. The lakes aren't even safe to go into. Here in Washington State, they said like there's 10 lakes. If you go into them, it's dangerous. There's a high amount of bacteria, which I don't want to still going in this one, because that's one thing that I had heard from one lady who, she had taken her dog to the lake and playing in the lake, and her dog was drinking the water, playing in the water, and everything came out, and within a few hours she was in the emergency vet, and the dog passed. And then she's like, what the fuck? And he said that there's certain bacteria that build up, and they said that they don't release it to the public until there's some animals that die from it. Once they start having dogs come and dying from it, then they start saying, oh, now it's dangerous. So they just don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if we look at our animals like living souls, people, humans to us. We look past what the body is and into the soul of the being. And so anyways, but they don't want us connecting. They want us traumatized and sad and sick all the time. So anyways, but you got to watch out, especially when it's been hot. It just is a place to build up bacteria. And you got all these animals going to the bathroom and all these chemicals so it's a whole fucking breeding ground of sickness. So, I'm not going up and floating anymore right now, because it just is like, because there was the last couple times when I come back and my skin was so itchy. I was like, man, I don't know, I'm not gonna. And Stella got those sores, so luckily then I couldn't take her in, but now it's like, no fucking way. I just think there's too much bacteria, especially now they've already released it. There's 10 dangerous lakes. So anyways, that's what my thoughts of the day. So let's look at this. I'm definitely doing 3 of those pumpkin seed oil pills. And don't forget, too, I'm on that collagen powder, Dr. Berg's collagen powder. And it's supposed to have stuff that helps your hair and nails grow. And I don't know. One thing about when my nails grow, though, they're fucking dirty all the time. Like, god dang. But all these people, they just wear fake nails. But underneath, dirty. But anyways, I would say, they could be growing a little in the strength of them. They're a little stronger, but they're definitely not hard and long. So I don't know, my hair still seems like, dang, that's as much as it's grown in 6 fucking months. So, but now there's new things I'm trying. So the collagen, I've been through 1 month round of that, and the pumpkin seed oil, I've only been on it for like a week. So anyways, we'll see where that goes. And then the toothpaste thing, because I have been using the P6 more in it, but I'm doing a peroxide rinse and also Uncle Harry's rinse, which now, when I first took that stuff, it was so hot it burned the shit on my mouth. So it is, once you've used it for a while, or how many ever times it takes you, but it's like the same thing with the black seed oil. When I first had black seed oil, I was like, oh my God, so horrendous. Now I can just take it like nothing. Now, but it's the same with Uncle Harry's. When I first took it, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's burning my mouth off. Now I can just squirt it in my mouth and swish it around and I'm done do anything. So do get used to it. So anyways, that is where we're at on that thing. I'll be so glad. God dang, I'm gonna be glad when it's finally fucking just all healed back to growing a tooth back. Plus it'll be like, fuck, look at that magic in my mouth. So anyway, Stella can always tell. She always can tell when I'm wrapping it up, and she right away is like, okay, I want food, more food, more food. It's every couple of hours she wants more food. But the weird thing is, my mom said she doesn't do that at all. When I'm gone, she doesn't whine. She doesn't sit and beg for food. She just kind of chills. It's like she's so manipulative. But her and I have a close bond. It is a soul. It's a spiritual thing. But anyways, I still love her no matter what. But she does have some stank on her again. Like, man, I'm gonna try today and wash down there again and see. I just don't even know. I keep on thinking, well, if it is like stinky old pee and it's getting stuck in there, then, you know, I mean, little old ladies, I gotta keep on I'm reminding myself. I mean, she's about to be 10. And, you know, I mean, in dog times, especially for a giant breed, she's a little old lady. And as dogs age, through this fucking sped up aging system that they created for dogs, they do start having lots of issues. So you start having blind, deaf, losing bladder control, all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of sad because then people just discard them or have them put down or whatever. But I'm riding this out. I'm still hopeful that we're going to get into these med beds and we're all going to go backwards and we're not going to have to deal with aging anymore. We're going to feel good and we're going to be healthy and everything's going to be fun and mysterious for our new existence. So anyways, but we still, you know, wherever it is, I would say if that once the money thing starts going, there's this whole thing with this where they have this redemption RV and all that stuff. Like, I don't know all the different things, but but they start calling you in for the redemption center. That's supposedly they zone you up for your vibration, and then they tell you where you're at, if you can go into one of those or if you got to work on your healing more, because you do have to get to, oh, there they go. It's probably the deers. But anyways, you know what I'm going to say next? I'm going to say, with all this fucking craziness, the best thing you can do is focus on yourself. And all of this showing us, all the hatefulness, is helping us to be able to see the necessity of learning how to love everybody, man, and to accept everybody for where they're at. And even these people who seem so whacked up, you just got to keep remembering when they seem so fucking crazy that they are going to see their own craziness, and it's going to be a lot of humility. They're going to feel real bad about themselves. So that's what we've been building up, our compassion and empathy, so that we have compassion and empathy for everybody. And they can seem cocky and ego and arrogant, and that was loud. They can seem real cocky and arrogant. That's a car door. Oh, I was having a delivery. Oh yeah, because I got these new Korean skincare thing, and they're these cleansing pads. They supposedly make all the little dark marks go off. So we'll see if all the little dark marks go off. But that's another thing. So it just got delivered. So we'll keep you updated on that too. We'll start examining my skin a little closer and see how the Korean healthcare, because that's the big trend, is the Korean skincare. They don't age. They look great. Like they're 60 years old and they look like they're 20. So everybody wants to use their skincare. So anyways, I just got some of that. So it wasn't the tears, it was my delivery. So anyways, just remember, I'm telling you, working on it yourself, learning how to love yourself. It gives you the most value. That's the currency you want, is learning how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and how to have the day you want to have, because it's vital, I swear to God. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So just buckle up for whatever's coming, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.